Great. Well, I'm delighted to have our next speaker come to contribute to the discussion about the evolution, the opportunity of delivered by cloud computing across Asia. But specifically what we're going to hear about is one of the most dynamic, from an economic perspective and technological perspective, markets in Asia. Physically not the largest of areas, but constantly changing. A friendly rivalry, one could say perhaps, with Singapore. And what we're going to hear about is how to encourage enterprise cloud adoption in Asia, some of the challenges and opportunities. And giving his time today to speak with us is Daniel Lai, who is the Government Chief Information Officer for the Government of Hong Kong. And he's going to talk to us about what the government is doing today, what it will hopefully do in the future, and I think a warm round of applause would be welcome. Thank you.
Good afternoon, old friends and new friends. It's my pleasure to be here back in Singapore to present at this exciting cloud event. Actually, I've been to Singapore many times, but this is the first time in my capacity as Government Chief Information Officer. According to the latest prediction of Gartner, the global public or cloud computing market will continue to grow by 18.5% in 2013 to $131 billion, outpacing the estimated 4.1% growth of the global IT spending by over 4 times. Therefore, there are ample opportunities ahead for all of us to explore during the next few years. But are we ready to take up the challenges? In this session, what I'd like to do is to share with you, in a much broader perspective, some of the experiences learned and challenges we encounter in promoting the adoption of cloud services in Hong Kong. And I will touch on such areas as how can the government take the lead in encouraging both the public and private enterprises to adopt cloud. What initiatives are we providing to cloud industry providers? What is the government taking on the cloud initiatives? And how far have the multinational corporations and small and medium enterprises come in moving to the cloud? And because of time constraint, I'll be covering all this question at a fairly high level. Of course, later in the day, there will be a panel discussion, which I'll be there as well to share further discussions. To start with, let me briefly describe the current situation in Hong Kong. The government strongly supports the development of the cloud industry, and we actually have a very good foundation for that. We have established a sound legal system with robust protection of intellectual property rights. We also have a world-class infrastructure that supports Hong Kong as an ideal location in the region for setting up data centers. In fact, the WEF Global Competitiveness Report in 2012-13 ranked Hong Kong's infrastructure as the first in the world. And also in the IMD World Competitiveness Yearbook 2012, Hong Kong also ranked first in the area of technological infrastructure. And as the freest economy in the world for the last 19 years, Hong Kong has maintained a pro-business culture with minimal government interventions. We also benefit from Hong Kong's proximity to mainland, where there is a huge market with all kinds of talented professionals. All these are essential factors for the development of cloud industry. On the demand side, there are also great opportunities for the cloud service providers to offer services in Hong Kong. We have around 300,000 small medium enterprises in Hong Kong, which accounts for 98% of the total business units. And they are now employing over 1.2 million people. That is around half the private sector workforce. Typically, these SMEs do not have the IT skills nor manpower to develop their own application, and hence they form a large market for cloud service providers. However, we also know that the adoption of cloud is a business decision. Before taking on the journey, enterprise should address a number of questions. To formulate a business case, they may ask, why consider cloud? What are the benefits? Are there successful cases? What are the potential impacts? Any changes to the business? Is it secure and reliable? And it is expensive. And after establishing the business case and assessing their impacts, enterprises also need to tackle questions over actual implementation. For example, they will ask, who are the cloud service providers? What are the service offerings? And when to start? Is the market mature now? And how to proceed? Are there any best practices or reference models? And how can we ensure good service? And how to evaluate the results? All these are very valid questions that we need to address. Well, who can answer all these questions? The cloud providers will definitely have the incentive to help the customer establish their business case. But we also need the cloud service customers or the end users to share their adoption experience, success stories, and best practices. For governments, while they may not be directly involved in private sector businesses, they can actually have a number of roles to play. And what I believe personally, there are three roles governments can play. One, government as the leader. Second, as the facilitator. And thirdly, as the sponsor. And I will take us through these three roles that government can play. Under the cloud computing strategy that Hong Kong has formulated back in 2011, we have taken the lead in adopting the cloud model to improve our working efficiency and deliver better public services. We launched an information portal called Data.1 in 2011 as a pilot project for disseminating public sector information, or PSI in short, to the public for value-added service and reuse. It has made use of the public cloud that offers an agile and scalable service, thus avoiding the need for huge initial investment before confirming the business and user demand. We have also launched another pilot project on the implementation of server virtualization in our government central computer centers. The objectives are to gain first-hand experience on cloud management and operation and to verify the readiness of various cloud technologies and respective resource management services. Both projects were very successful. They have not only greatly reduced the time required to deliver the government services, but also saved computing resources, energy, and also required floor space. The experience gained in this project have provided a solid foundation for the progressive implementation of cloud initiatives. We then formulated our business case, obtained funding, and arranged for the procurement process last year. In the coming years, we will proceed to develop shared services and roll out our cloud-based services incrementally. I will go over some of these major initiatives in the following slides. The first project that I mentioned is the GovCloud, which represents a core infrastructure as a service under an outsourced contractual arrangement. We have already awarded the contract in March this year, and this platform is a private cloud for the government to support common e-government services starting by the end of this year. We will invest over 240 million Hong Kong dollar, that's around 40 million Singapore dollar, during the first 5 years, and we expect that the GovCloud will support over 30,000 users upon completion of implementation. Besides core infrastructure services, we also see the need for shared platforms with common service components for enabling the rapid development and easy development of e-government services. Based on a scalable cloud-based design, we are repositioning our existing e-government infrastructure service we call EGIS. The platform has been offering centrally managed services for government to citizen and government to business transactions. We will progressively roll out the service to support another 100 additional e-government services during the next few years, and the total investment will exceed 20 million Singapore dollar. Riding on the core infrastructure and platforms, we are also developing a portfolio of cloud-enabled services for government agency. The initial set of applications include electronic information management, government human resource management, e-procurement, etc. This will be offered as shared service. And the aim is to automate and streamline the current business processes as well as to enhance the transparency, efficiency, and cost effectiveness in providing public services. It is expected that these services will be made available to government agencies in a flexible and cost-effective way when the GovCloud is rolled out later in the year. This diagram shows a simplified architecture model of our government private cloud environment. In addition to the software as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service components, we also have established the overall cloud service management framework to meet the overall system resilience, security, elasticity, and compliance requirements, and also to ensure efficient and effective provisioning. Besides private cloud, we also encourage the adoption of public cloud services within the government. We have altogether 60 departments and bureaus, and we have established a catalog of public cloud services through a request for information exercise. In fact, 40 different service providers have come forward with their proposals offering cloud services to various government agencies in totaling over 300 types of services. So this catalog will form the basis for easy contractual ordering and so on. And we already have seen departments using such services as unified communication and collaboration, as well as other office automation services and multimedia storage. One key objective behind all these initiatives is the intention of the government to take the leadership role. And there are 5 key steps we have been taking. First, establishing the business case, then identifying the risk areas. Third, assessing the market readiness, sourcing for the cloud providers, and last but not least, sharing our experience within the market. So by us taking a lead and then sharing the experience with the market, this stimulates a lot of both supply and demand. And through active outsourcing and investments, we hope to foster market developments and encourage vendors and service providers to adopt best practices of cloud service provision. And furthermore, based on the reference implementation of cloud services by the government, we believe that enterprises will have more confidence in taking their first step. The second major role of the government, I believe, is promoting cloud, is to act as a facilitator. Further to the direct investments on government cloud projects, we have been actively taking different measures to facilitate cloud industry development. Our efforts can be divided in 3 major areas. First, facilitating data centers development. Second, facilitating local cloud industry development. And third, facilitating collaboration with mainland China on the development of cloud services and standards. Reliable data centers form the essential infrastructure to support pillar sectors like financial services, trading, and logistics. They also provide the catalyst for the development of cloud computing services. In order to facilitate data center development in Hong Kong, we have taken a multi-pronged approach. And through the Science and Technology Park, we have provided land at industrial estates for the construction of data center. Government also has set aside 2 hectares of land for the exclusive use of high-tier data centers. And the first site actually will be available for bidding from next month. We also encourage the setting up data centers in existing industrial buildings by exempting the waiver fees, converting them. Because a lot of manufacturing facilities in Hong Kong have moved to mainland China, vacating some of the industrial estates. So these buildings can be made available for conversion to data center. And we have put in place measures to facilitate and measure to waive some of the conversion application fee. And lastly, in order to provide professional and one-stop service for facilitating interested parties in setting up data centers in Hong Kong, we have set up a dedicated data center facilitation unit and established an information portal to disseminate latest relevant information. In fact, we are helping some of the operators and potential operators to make application, to discuss with power company, and also to submit plans for conversion. We are glad to see that significant strides have been made over the past few years. For instance, Hong Kong has been ranked the safest place in Asia for setting up data centers by the Uptime Institute for the last 2 years. And over 12 hectares of land have been provided in our industrial estate for data center use since 2010, and 11 high-tier data centers have been set up or will be completed by local and overseas operators. And in 2011 alone, we observed that the growth rate of data center floor space has exceeded 18%. At the same time, the cumulative increase in the number of workers for data center has increased 6.5%. With the fast development of cloud industry, it is anticipated that such figures will continue to grow. In facilitating the development of cloud industry, we established the expert group on cloud computing services and standards. This is a bit like the Cloud Computing Advisory Committee that Singapore has. So this purpose is to solicit expert advice and insights from the industry, from academia, and from professional bodies. And based on their suggestions, initial work has been identified, which include to promote awareness of cloud services among the small and medium enterprises, and to provide related best practices and guidelines to them. We have already established a one-stop information portal. The name is www.infocloud this year, which contains a lot of information, best practices, guide, and also a success story for sharing for the industry. The expert group and its working group members also have collaborated effectively to develop different guidelines, checklists, and practices, which include the practice guide for procuring cloud services and the security and privacy checklist for cloud users and providers. To take a further step forward, we also have established the Hong Kong Guangdong Expert Committee on Cloud Computing Services and Standards with the Economic and Information Commission of Guangdong Province. For information, Guangdong Province is the province right adjacent to Hong Kong with a population of close to 60 million population. So it's a huge market and opportunity for the Hong Kong service provider. And the main objectives is to strengthen the cooperation among all the stakeholders from both within Hong Kong and on the mainland for promotion and adoption of related cloud standards and best practices. And we have organized different workshops, forum, conferences since the formation of this expert committee to facilitate the industry players to explore cooperation and business opportunities between the two places. An online collaboration platform has been established to facilitate further exchanges of ideas and research finding amongst the cloud experts in Guangdong and Hong Kong. We anticipate that Hong Kong will be playing a more and more important role in driving, promoting, and delivering cloud services to the mainland companies and users at large. The third role government play could be a sponsor. There are actually different forms of sponsorship we are providing. On one hand, the government can offer direct support to the industry through funding schemes. In Hong Kong, we have the Innovation and Technology Fund, the SME Fund, and some sector-specific programs. On the other hand, the opening up of public sector information can be regarded as another form of sponsorship in helping the local industry to develop creative and innovative solutions. Just taking an example of our sector-specific program, we have supported the development of two cloud-based solutions. The first one is the Consumer Connect, which is a mobile promotional platform for displaying product information and enhancing brand values that is mainly targeted for SMEs in the wholesale and retail industry. The second one is a very unique application. We call it Location-Based Teleprotection and Mobile Patrol Management System, which used cloud model for the security industry. When a security guard go out on patrol, they have mobile devices and location-based devices that help them to do the checking and patrolling. And through this funding program, we hope to drive e-business and ICT adoption in business sectors and to enhance the e-readiness of the SMEs for more advanced e-business opportunities. Talking about public sector information or PSI, besides currently PSI include road traffic condition information, georeference public facilities, weather information, census and statistics data, and government events information, which is open up for public download in computer-readable formats. And they are made available through our Data.1 portal, which is also on the cloud platform. With the innovation of the ICT sector, such as meshing up PSI with private sector data, we expect that the public can enjoy more customized services in their daily life. We are glad that Data.1 portal has been receiving very good responses from the community, and at least 13 innovative mobile applications have been developed using PSI available on the portal and launched in the market. In particular, the traffic snapshot images record daily downloads of 700,000 downloads every day. On cloud adoption amongst enterprises, according to an end-user survey conducted by the Hong Kong Productivity Council, cloud adoption rate for local enterprises was around 33% at the end of 2012, with a growth rate of 20% over the previous year. Cloud services being used by local enterprises are mainly those mature solutions in the market, including office automation services, collaborations and document management tools, etc. Based on these figures, we can see that there is in fact a huge potential for growth of the cloud market in Hong Kong. To promote wider adoption, we need to know the needs of the enterprises. And in the same survey conducted, we noted that the enterprises expect the following benefits from cloud applications, namely reduce initial investment. They don't want to worry about the IT maintenance or upgrades. That cloud service should provide elastic capacity, faster time to market, and pay-as-you-go model, and so forth. We also noted some key attributes that enterprises will look for when sourcing cloud services, and they include local technical support, systems performance, data security protection, the ease of use, mobility, and also that support can be accessed by tablets and smartphone, multi-purpose, and so on. So these are actual results from a survey conducted. So to conclude, we identify that cloud computing has brought ample opportunities to the whole ICT industry, from project management, system integration, operations, to data center hosting, telecommunication, and so on. But the challenges are to meet users' ever-rising demand and expectations on performance, agility, scalability, security, and support. And while the markets are maturing, we also need to continue to address and tackle other challenges, which include service level management, the interoperability, security, contract management, data ownership, resilience, and especially contractual management. And I believe it is up to the industry players and all the stakeholders to work together to address and resolve those problems, and also to tackle those challenges that are ahead of us. But there are ample opportunities in the market, and there are ample demand. And I believe we can look forward to the continuous collaboration and exchanges among cloud practitioners amongst Asia to deliver more innovative and cost-effective solutions to the customer and to the user, and to tackle the challenge. With this, I thank you all for your attention, and I wish you all a very fruitful conference in the next 2 days. Thank you.
Thank you very much for a very detailed presentation. Just a couple of points of clarification. You said for the project for the internal G-Cloud, you've awarded the project with an external supplier.
Yes.
You didn't say who that was.
Normally we don't share, but it's already known information. It's a company called Atos.
Okay, so the systems integrator Atos.
Yeah, Atos. Yeah.
Okay.
They will provide the service as a service.
Okay, and just a point of clarification, you set aside space for data centers to be built. Your slide said 2 acres, but you actually mean 2 hectares. Is that right?
Hectares, yeah, 2 hectares.
Okay, so because 2 acres.
No, it's 2 hectares.
2 hectares, that's quite a lot of space.
We still have another 3 hectares within the industrial estates, and these 2 additional hectares, they are earmarked for high-tier data centers, which is very rare. The government in Hong Kong normally don't state what's the purpose, but this time, this 2 hectares is dedicated for high-tier data centers.
Okay. Thank you very much indeed. Much appreciated.
Thank you.